Hi everybody, David Harper here. I'm going to show you something really quite unusual. Here it is. It's an antique Chinese vase, but it's full of metal staples. Yes, metal staples. Now I think these metal staples, feast your eyes, actually enhance this bottle vase, which is a good 150 years old. What do you think? Now, why then are there staples all over this vase? Well, they predate superglue. That's what they are. They are the 18th and 19th century equivalent of superglue. So this Chinese vase, it's Cantonese, so South China, it's Famille Rose, hand painted in enamel, that bottle shape, made absolutely for the Western market. We in the West just loved these colours. In fact, the Chinese referred to the colours as foreign colours because they weren't exactly their palette, but they didn't mind making these things in their millions for the Western market. We couldn't get enough of them, and they were highly prized. So highly prized that when you broke one, it was, like this, shattered into several very big pieces. People went to great expense and trouble in restoring them because they were very valuable and maybe very important pieces, maybe family pieces. So take another look. So imagine the skill in repairing this thing. So people would travel, these craftsmen, these repairers, pot repairers, would travel around the countryside with a little wheel which they would pedal, tools, a bit like a dentist's kit, metal staples, and they would take your broken pots, things that you prized, and they would put them together. I mean, drill tiny holes in the porcelain and then fit the staples to hold the thing together. Immense skill. I mean, I can rub my nail over that joint and I can't feel any difference. It's closed perfectly. And at some point it's also been a lamp, by the way, more damage. And all of this affects the value. You know that. But it may affect the value, and I'll tell you what it's worth. But to me, it adds a great deal of interest. Value. Value isn't always money. Value is interest. And as I've said so many times before, just because something is damaged doesn't make it any less beautiful than an object that is in absolutely pristine condition. So my advice to you, well, let me know what you think. Would you own it? My advice to you is look for things like this because you buy beautiful things for no money. So what is it worth? 500 quid, including its fantastic carved Chinese hardwood stand. I mean, that in itself is a work of art. So 500 quid in mint condition, perfect condition. That's about what it's worth on the market. No markings on the underside, that's fine. Very often Chinese pieces are much easier to date when there's no character marks on the underside, because if that told us in Chinese old script that it was made during the Kanchi period, circa 1700, the first thing we'd do is not believe it, because some of these marks are very dubious. No mark, definitely made for the Western market. It's called an export piece. 500 quid upwards in mint condition. The stand must be worth 100 quid, but let's say it's 500 quid all in. What's it worth with the beautiful repairs, which you've got to appreciate? If you don't appreciate, let me know why you don't appreciate them. It's worth half that. So £250 for a fabulous piece of art, Chinese thing, 150, 180 years old, with its metal staples, which to me makes it much more interesting because it tells a great story. So there you go. Don't discount something just because it's got great big chunks of metal in it. Buy it for half its value and get double the pleasure. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.